Welcome to Story Time at the Rubus, a weekly podcast where we talk about Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival, and also pina coladas. Speaking of pina coladas, you guys just had a few in Cancun, right?
Yes, one for each hand.
Definitely had one for each.
Charlotte had maybe more than one for each hand.
Well, anyways, I'm your host, Brooklyn.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Charla.
Today we are going to be talking about campground activities, but most importantly, we are going to be helping out our rookies. Our Rubian rookies.
Yeah, so we did an episode like this last year. I'm going to make this basically Roo Rookies the sequel. We were going to help out rookies last year, but then last year didn't happen, of course.
Yes.
So you can go back and check that episode. I think we did it around April last year, roughly a year ago. So some of the same information is going to be in that old episode, but there's a lot of new information that we have to go over this time. So we're going to help you about what you can be working on now, what to pack, what not to pack, what to wear, things like that. But we're going to get to that in a moment. Brooklyn, how have you been doing? What have you been up to?
Honestly, I've been relaxing as much as I can with work at the veterinary hospital. We just got through with spring break.
Yeah, that's always busy.
Most of our dogs have left today, actually. We still have a couple more going home tomorrow, but it's just been chaotic. We had about 197 dogs in-house, and it's been absolutely insane. Cannot wait to sit on the beach next week.
Yes, we're going to head to Gulf Shore, so if anyone is in the area, please hit us up. We'd love to hang out. We're going to be there, 3 nights, I think?
Yeah.
We're tagging along with Charla as she has a work conference going on. She's going to be working. I'm going to be working. I'm going to be working from the hotel, but you're going to be out there vacationing hard, right?
It's my turn to have 2 pina coladas in my hand while y'all are stuck in the room.
2 pina coladas in each hand, so really 4.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Charlotte, how are you?
I'm great.
You feeling good after a vacation?
Yes, absolutely. Feeling much more refreshed.
Yeah, Charlotte and I were both overdue. But that's not really what we're here to talk about. We've got a lot to get through before we get to our rookie stuff. There was a lot of stuff announced while we were out. Did you see this stuff about all the campground activities and the late night stuff?
Honestly, I have not.
You haven't?
But I have seen their after hours posts.
Yeah, they're calling late night after hours now.
And
I thought that's kind of interesting.
I'm a little confused about that. Can you help elaborate on that, Daniel?
I think they've basically rebranded it. Beforehand, it was late night, but now they're calling it after hours. It's just a different name for the same thing, basically.
So it's like the lineup.
The lineup of the acts that will be playing basically after midnight each night.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
So,
I was a little confused. I was like, so are we getting 2 sets from all of these?
No, there will only be the 1 set, but these are the sets from people that will be playing late night. You know, that's something I didn't understand my first Bonnaroo, so I'm glad that you asked that. I had to ask that back in the day, back in 2013. Let's go through this real quick. So there will be 3 late nights or after hours, whatever you want to call it. So there's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I am just going to pick a few that I'm looking forward to. Tell me some from you guys. Thursday, for me, is Goth Babe. I've talked about them already. Can't wait to see them again. How about you, Charlotte? What you want to see on Thursday?
Andy Frasco and the UN.
Yes, absolutely. They threw down hard at the other fest last year. Can't wait to see them at the Real Roo. What about you?
Sons of Kemet.
Oh, yeah, the one that Mitchell got us on. That jazz kind of
Of course.
Yeah. Friday. Catch me on the rail at King Gizzard. That is my number 1 of all weekend. You will not stop me from hitting that rail. What about you?
Well, I know what Charlotte's is, so I'm not going to go with it. But that's my top. Yeah,
Goose.
I Denzel Curry has a song with Glass Animals. I'm not familiar that much with Denzel Curry outside of Glass Animals, so I might stop by that show and check them out a little bit.
Okay, yeah. I would have been at that if it wasn't for King Giz, but Charlotte, I'm afraid we're going to have to split up on Friday, it looks like.
Well, you just said mine 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
I apologize.
You're going to be choosing Goose.
Yes.
She is.
Yes.
Yeah, Charlotte's all about some
Absolutely.
Goose.
I will be there for Goose.
And on Saturday, top line, Flume. I think we might all end at that because... No, not you. Not you.
Me.
You going to be at Loop Daddy?
Me. I'm going to be at Loop Daddy.
Saturday is going to have some hard conflicts for the after-hour stuff.
Playing ping pong.
Pigeons playing ping pong.
They're so fun.
Saturday is going to have some tough choices for a lot of people because you got Flume.
Mark Rubio.
Yeah, 100 Gex, Ludacris, Pigeons. Ooh, there's a lot of hard things to pick from on Saturday.
Nora and Pure.
Yeah, we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Y'all.
Yeah?
I might go act a fool at Ludacris.
Oh, man.
Hey, that's okay.
Whew, that's going to be tough.
As long as somebody films.
We got 3 months to think about that, but yeah, Saturday late night is going to have a lot of tough choices.
Yes.
Also, can we talk just for a moment about this crazy activities lineup that they've put out?
Right.
I mean, it's a little bit of
I haven't
activities.
even seen it.
Yeah, so it's almost like a second lineup. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's something going on each night.
Now, these are campground activities.
Some of it is.
Campground plazas. Well, it says go beyond Centeroo and explore the campground plazas on the farm.
Yeah, so the biggest one that comes out to me is on Friday. Air to Earth is actually Porter Robinson. That's another one of his side projects. I think it might be at Where in the Woods. They haven't really, been specific about that. I guess we'll see when there is a calendar and a schedule closer. I will put it out. Some people have asked. Nightmare is headlining on Wednesday. That is not going to be at the bus. I can talk about some things. There's some things I can't talk about yet. But there will be a separate announcement in the future about activities that are provided from people like us and Red Room community stuff. So look for that. The wheels are starting to turn for that. We already have our plans in place. I just can't talk about it because it's not 100% announced. What did you see?
Therapy Gecko.
What is Therapy Gecko?
He's on TikTok.
I don't understand this.
Therapy. Oh, I'll show you some videos afterwards.
What?
And we're gonna have to tag it in Twitter.
Okay, can you explain Therapy Gecko?
Okay, so it's just a bunch of randos telling this guy dressed up as a gecko their deepest, darkest secrets, and it's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, wait, Therapy Gecko, that is real.
That's real.
Wow. Okay, I'll be checking out Therapy Gecko.
I didn't realize this was a big deal.
Friday night.
Okay.
What the fuck?
I'm glad she's entertained. Is there anything else that jumps out to you, Charlotte?
Absolutely. The biggest thing that jumps out to me on here is look what's back. House of Yes.
Yes. I'm so happy about that. I had spoken with them about a month or two ago, and they were a little uncertain. So it's so good to hear that they will be back and having their plaza, I assume. I love them to death. Can't wait to bring Joseph there. Can't wait to hang out there and party a lot over the weekend.
I'm so happy that House of Yes is back. And it looks like if you actually look through this campground schedule or campground lineup rather that they put out, House of Yes is listed every single day on there. So I'm assuming that they're going to have their barn back. I mean, that's just a guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so excited about that because that is one of my favorite things at Bonnaroo. I mean, it has been in the past few years anyways, and I love it so much. I mean, it's just amazing.
There's one other thing I want to point out that's not on here that Brooklyn and Mitchell and I are campaigning for them to have. There's this amazing thing that they had at Okeechobee called, what was it?
Freaking Frack's Blackjack Tent.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of different things. It was a whole little casino,
it was
not just
amazing.
blackjack. Yeah. I have forwarded that along to Bonnaroo. I'm like, hey, you guys should have this. It was amazing. We would love to see it there. So
it's such a Bonnaroo thing, too.
I am openly putting it here. They should add Frick Frack to this schedule.
Yes.
I would love to see them there. I think they would be an amazing addition to the Bonnaroo Plaza lineup.
Yes.
Do you agree?
I 100% agree.
I wish I had been there more at Okeechobee.
I would stop by there at least for 10 minutes each night.
So it looks like they're also bringing back what they were going to have in 2021. Sorry, I had to think about what year it is.
Which year that didn't happen?
The wedding ceremonies with Dolly, the Dolly impersonator. So,
yeah, not really Dolly.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to have that in the former Snake and Jake's.
So I hope not. I hope that they make that barn Snake and Jake's
Jake's
again. I think that they weren't going to make it Snake and Jake's because they wanted to be a little COVID safe. COVID numbers have basically flatlined these days. So I really hope that they make that Snake and Jake's again. And the wedding with Dolly is at another newer location. Just my personal hope.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, it looks like they've got a lot of yoga on there as well, which is going to be super cool again. They've had that before, and that's always a lot of fun.
That was like one of the only times that I've ever done yoga. Mm-hmm. Was at Bonnaroo.
It's cool. I mean, it's really, really cool.
I did it with you guys. I enjoyed it. That was a great way to.
Nice.
Yeah, great way to stretch in the morning. Oh, Brooklyn, I regret to inform you they also have line dancing. I know that is something that's deep in your heritage.
I will not be making my way over there.
Ask us about that in person sometime.
Yeah.
But anything else that jumps out to you before we move on?
I noticed that Therapy Gecko is also on Sunday.
I guess they're doing something every day. Well, I mean, there's a lot of those that are listed.
I just need to know if this is the actual dude because I have to meet him.
That's your homework. I want you to find out, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of those where it's like the same thing every day. So like House of Yes and Dolly and apparently Therapy Gecko. DJ Mel is another one I see on a lot of days.
If you actually look on there's a lot of artists that weren't on the original lineup on there as well.
Mm-hmm. I think Turnpike Troubadours might be one. I know Lindsay was speaking of that. Lindsay that owns the Mini Roof Farm and does roof fitness stuff. He was really hyping them up, so I'll have to check them out. All right, last call. Anything else that jumps out to you? It's a big lineup.
Mother Funk.
What is that?
I don't know.
I guess we'll have to find out.
It intrigues me.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are intriguing here that I don't necessarily know about. But we have 2.5, 3 months to learn.
Ooh, I see one for Mitchell.
What's that?
Vinyl Ranch.
What is that? Okay, we have homework. We have to find out what these things are. It's funny because there's all these like random words and nobody really knows what it is. It's like, well, we have it. Come check it out.
It doesn't say what time.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine.
We'll find out later. Okay, we're going to get to the rookie stuff in a minute, but I understand you guys have a quick pick of the week, something that you just watched that you want to talk about.
Yes. Okay, so our pick of the week is me and Charla have a joint one.
You have a joint?
We started, yeah. Bud Light. We started watching the show together last night, and it's on Netflix, and it's called, hang on.
You forgot.
The name is so hard to remember.
Okay, it's something to do with cherries. Hang on. Brand new cherry flavor.
Okay, yes.
And it is a psych horror film, or not film, but it's a limited series. And it's so different and so weird, but so good. And it's great. You should check it out.
The thing that I like about it is it's a limited series, so you don't have to invest your whole life into it.
Exactly.
I don't know how many episodes there are, but it's really, really good so far. And it's just like the perfect amount of horror where it's not like over the top cheesy or gross or like it's really, really good so far. And it's set in like the early 90s.
Yeah.
But it still has that modern day feeling to it. But we've really liked it so far.
Trigger warning though. It does get a little, well, within the first 2 episodes, it gets a little man choking woman-y.
Oh, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you pointed that out.
And there's a couple of animal scenes in there.
Yeah.
I can't do with that. I just let you guys watch it. I went to do something else. I can't do that.
But it's super good.
Okay. And it's on Netflix, you said?
Netflix, yes.
Limited series? Okay. My quick pick is Encanto. I finally watched it with you. I was not ready to go on that field trip.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Well, I had to watch it just to see what there was about Bruno that they weren't talking about. Because I keep hearing that song all over the place. And I love the buff lady. What was her name?
Lisa.
Lisa? She was fantastic. I liked her song a lot too.
Yes.
But yes, Encanto. Finally watched it. Enjoyed the hell out of that. Encanto, sorry. Charla, before we move on to the second half of the episode and help out all the rookies, can we go through our patrons?
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us the names and then I'll tell everybody what's up.
Okay, first off, I cannot wait to meet all of you at Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
Definitely come to the party. Come to the Patreon party. I mean, it's going to be so awesome. I'm so excited.
Yes.
All right. So
let's go through our names.
We've got Mick Ferg.
A new one.
Bruce Butler.
Another new one.
Andrew Julian.
I think another new one.
William Hoper. John Howard. Captain Dan. Lucy Young. Benjamin Wells. Ross McNamara. Kent Summers. Michael Roberts. Randy C. Joshua Wenzel. Madison Hatsiko. Scott Hurst. Greg, Eric and Ben Abel, Woo. Kristen Straub, Natalie Gaucher, Beyond the Hypnotic, that's Jace, Evan Brown, Jay Sanders, Chloe Hannon, and Sean McCarthy.
Man, the list is getting huge. It's getting a little crazy.
You guys are amazing.
Yes, amazing.
Thank you so much.
And remember, all your contributions are, what is it, like 80%?
80% goes to the Bonnaroo Works Fund.
The Bonnaroo Works Fund, and they do so much great work.
We will make a big donation a couple of weeks before Rue and get that to them, and the remaining 20% will go to fund whatever fun stuff you want to do at our Wednesday night party.
Yes.
We're going to let our Patreons decide.
A giant swimming pool filled with bubble juice.
Yeah.
And we're going to make giant bubbles.
If that's what they want to do, that's what we're going to do.
A phone party.
2 things for our Patreons real quick. We're going to do another Patreon call in the next week or 2 after we get back from Gulf Shores. And also, I have been putting it out. Those of you that are Patreons, if you want to give us a call, I'm trying to hang out with everybody in the couple of months leading up to Rue. If you want to give us a call, we'll just hang out about whatever you want to. You want to talk about Rue? You want to talk about baseball? You want to talk about Netflix? Whatever. We want to just hang out with each of you individually. So, if you want to sign up as a Patreon, it is at patreon.com/Rubus. There's 2 different levels. The top level, we are going to have a VIP event for you. We're going to have some other goodies for you. But yeah, more information on that in the 2 or 3 months leading up to Rue. Anything else on that, Charlotte?
No, I'm just very excited to meet everybody. I can't wait.
Same.
Me too. I'm excited to give you guys tahini.
Yes. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with the information for rookies.
Woo, woo, woo.
So we did this last year. We did an episode for the Bonner Rookies, and it went over really well. We're actually bringing a Bonner Rookie with us this year.
Oh, yeah, we should have had him.
Yeah, shout out to
Jojo.
The Double Joe.
Double Joe. There's going to be 2 different Joes that unite and make a triple Joe with us aboard the bus at Bonner.
We got single Joe.
Yeah.
Joe. And then we got double Joe.
Yeah.
Joe. And then they're going to make triple Joe.
Yeah, Double Joe would probably like everyone to know that he will also be Single Joe.
Yeah, he's also Single Joe.
Yeah, this is all getting very confusing.
This is a joke that has been long running.
Yeah.
A while.
Anyway, come see us at Bonnaroo, and we'll introduce you to them and explain this whole thing in person. Anyways, we want to do this to help people like Joseph who are coming to their first Bonnaroo. There is a lot to know. I remember many moons ago, I was very intimidated by my first Bonnaroo.
Oh,
Were you?
I had no idea what I was doing.
Did you, Brooklyn? How did you feel your first Bonnaroo?
You know, I honestly felt like I was in good hands because I was with you two.
Yeah.
Who had been to, 5 roos before my first?
I've lost count, but yes. But, yeah, I guess it helps when you come with somebody.
When you come with a group, that's
that
been before.
have been. And also, on that note, if you're coming as a rookie and you want a big group, I can't recommend enough to get in a group like Camp Red Roo, where you're going to be amongst a lot of people that have been many times. They can help you with all of these different things. They will probably have an online forum or a Facebook group like Camp Red Roo does to prep you for all this stuff. Better than we can in our short time on this one episode. But we do have a lot of tips and things that we wanted to help you out with. Let's work our way backwards. So we're going to work from where we are now, right? So we're, about 3 months, give or take, from Bonnaroo?
Yes.
There is a lot of stuff that people can be working on now, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So Charlotte, tell me where you are. I know you've been doing some prep work already. What have you been up to?
So right now, 3 months away from Bonnaroo, if you don't want to go out and spend tons of money the week before Bonnaroo, I would go ahead and start buying some little things that you know that you'll need for Bonnaroo. So I would go ahead and start getting some just basic essentials. Snacks.
Non-perishable stuff.
Non-perishables, obviously. So get some little snacks. Go ahead and start getting, just very tiny little things like your toilet paper, your body wipes.
Solo cups.
Just any kind of little solo cups that you're going to want to bring.
Also, you can get little bitty cups that are like shot glasses, but plastic. Yeah.
Start getting your outfits together now. Start planning out your outfits. If there's any kind of special outfit that you want to bring, go ahead and buy that now.
We'll talk more about that in a moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to spend all of your money the week before Bonnaroo, so that you're not rushing and trying to get things together then. Go ahead and start planning all that stuff out now.
Yeah, so make a big list of what all you are pretty sure that you're going to need. There's a lot of resources about this. I think it was Bonnaroo Chris that made like a 1-page PDF that has everything that you might possibly need at a festival like Bonnaroo. Mm-hmm. Google that, Bonnaroo Chris list, and you will probably find it.
Packing list.
Packing list, yeah. You'll see some things that you definitely want, maybe some things that you don't need as much. But make that list out, and you can be buying a little bit every week, right?
Yes, absolutely. That has honestly been one of the top things to save money, preparing for Bonnaroo. Is just trying to do it little by little over the course of a few months.
Mm-hmm. Brooklyn, you have a pick for something that people can put on that list, something that Kevin from Red Roo lent to you while we were at Okeechobee, right?
Yes, but before that, I do have a tip.
Oh, okay, go for it.
So my tip is it's better to overcompensate than undercompensate.
You think so?
With packing.
Okay.
You want to have all of the things that you are going to need, especially with women.
See, I'm looking at it at a different perspective. I understand now.
But anyways, that aside, the thing that helped me out the most at Okeechobee, which Okeechobee was my first camping festival, not spending the whole festival in a camper.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
And not being able to spend only $5 for a shower, not having to wait in a long line. So I mean, obviously,
we talked about that.
Yeah, y'all heard in the last episode the shower fiasco. It was horrible. So Kevin, our good buddy in Camp Retteroo, he saw that I was kind of down in the dumps. Because I was so irritated. I had walked away from the shower, and all I wanted to do was take a shower because I was pretty hungover from the night before, too much Bud Light. And he brought this thing over called a Dr. Prepare, and what it is it's like a solar shower, but it has a pump in it that you can hand pump. And it pressurizes the water that comes out of the spray nozzle. And it creates just the perfect shower, especially in, like, hot weather. Like, you can leave it out. You can fill it up. You can leave it outside. Let the heat absorb into the container. And you have a decently warm shower. And, I mean, it's pressurized enough to be able to condition, wash your hair, and soap up your body and wash it off, and you feel brand new. Because we all know a shower is a great cure for a hangover. Even if it's off the side of a car and
you can
in
attest.
The middle of a field. But it's really neat. You can find this product on Amazon, and this is the first time I had ever seen a solar shower.
I'd never heard of this. Yeah.
Yeah, and he says that he uses it also to wash his dishes because he has a whole like kitchen set up for his camp. But it compresses into this small little pouch, and it's very like it's good to even take on like if you're backpacking or whatever.
That was impressive because it like becomes much smaller when you take all the water out of it. Yeah.
It was really neat because I'm used to like the solar showers that are just like a flat bag and have no pressure to them, and it's just like a little trickle coming out.
I used to swear by those, but now I'm like, I want to kind of like.
This is really cool.
Can we go in together and buy one of these?
Yes, you can find it on Amazon called Dr. Prepare Solar Shower, and they're only $42.99. I was expecting this product to be at least $100.
Well, there's a bigger one that's $60. It looks like, yeah. That's still not too bad.
Yeah, this one holds 4 gallons. This cheaper one, and that's more than enough to like even give yourself a shower, and if you do have a set up kitchen, to wash your dishes. Like it's like one of the coolest products that I had ever seen.
Okay, well, let's split one of those.
Like camping and music festivals, it's a genius product, and it's really cheap.
We need that. Charlotte, are there any other products that you would recommend that you think everybody should have? I can think of one, if you can't. Your little organizer thing that we've used for a number of years.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So tell them about that really quick.
So what I have been doing for several years is I take a shoe organizer, just like the basic shoe organizer, and I will hang that up on our canopy. And then, boom, nobody has to worry about where is such and such or where is such and such. It's just all organized in the shoe rack outside.
Each little pocket is a different kind of thing that you might need, like plastic forks and spoons, wet wipes, all kind of different things, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is another top recommendation that I would have. Like you guys have already hit on the two things that I would recommend that people might not necessarily think of. The other stuff that I probably would tell those of you that are camping to be looking at is there's 3 main things that I recommend that you make sure now that you're going to have, ready to go. Your tent, obviously, you want a good one that is going to be well ventilated because it is going to get hot. You're going to want one of those canopy things, one of those pop-up canopy things. You can catch them on good sales sometimes at Walmart or Dick's Sporting Goods or Academy Sporting Goods. Sometimes you can get them as low as like $40, which sounds a little pricey, but trust me, it's worth it. Also get some like camp flags or tapestries that you can hang on the side because not only does it look cool, but it's going to help you a lot with shade and such. We dealt with that. Another little tip I'll give you, you're going to want to like tie those to like the rail and the canopy. That's not going to do the trick. get some of those folder clips, not paper clips, but folder clips to put them on the side of the poles. That will keep it there.
The ones that are like the black metal
the big
bracket,
ones.
and then the wired metal ones on the side.
Yeah, you can buy a box of them for like $5 or $10. They will absolutely, positively keep your flags and tapestries to the side of your canopy, and you should be set.
Obviously get the bigger ones, because I know they make them really
small. That's what I'm saying, the bigger ones. And the third thing that I would consider getting is one of those big floor mats. Usually they go along with like RVs and such. They're usually somewhere around like 10 to 20 square feet. You put those out, you've got an instant floor under your tent or your common area.
Last tip from me, Mitchell pointed this out while we were at Okeechobee. When you're setting up your camp, you want to take note of where the sun is going to rise. Because, let's be honest, we're all going to be out late, and we're all going to want to sleep in pretty late. So, nobody wants to be in a tent, and as soon as the sun rises, have the sun just like blazing into your tent, because you're immediately woken up if you're hot. If you're like me,
not a great feeling.
Not a great feeling at all. Daniel made the mistake of choosing the sunrise side of our camp.
I was lucky that it wasn't that hot at Okeechobee, but I can't imagine what it would have been like at Rue.
Well, something you're going to have to think about at Rue. It's in Tennessee, and there's a lot of humidity.
Yes.
Ooh.
So when your tent in the morning, when you wake up, it's going to be super, super, super moist. You can actually rectify that by using Rain-X on your tent.
Oh, yeah. Somebody gave us that tent.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
It was Mitchell.
Of course, that was a Mitchell thing. Yeah.
So you can actually, put some Rain-X on there, and that helps.
That's genius.
Mm-hmm. Another Mitchell tip, he mentioned this at Okie. He said, put your pillows in your car while you're not using them.
Yep.
Because
especially
otherwise they will absorb the moisture that's in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Also, I would keep your cooler in the car if you can as well.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Am I giving bad advice? Because it can get just as hot in the car.
Keep it on the ground is what you want to do.
Yeah. Listen to Charlotte, not me on that.
Keep it on the ground and in the shade.
In the shade, yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it keep it on the table?
I feel like we need like a scientist to help with this. Now, one thing I will tell you about the cooler is take about at least half of your water bottles and freeze them solid before you like really pack it, because those will keep everything colder longer, and the frozen ones will melt eventually, but they'll be cold a couple of days afterwards. So that's one of my go-to things. Yes.
Last tip, if you're like me and you like flavor, never forget your essential bottle of tahini.
Thank you, Tahini Queen.
You're welcome.
Now you have the second flavor that I brought.
I do. I have habanero straight from Mexico.
Yeah, she was like taking this around at Okeechobee like it was something else, like snorting it off of your hand all the time.
First of all, we were not snorting it, and I would not recommend snorting tahini. If you snort tahini and you're okay, I'm sorry for you, because eventually you will have medical issues.
No, I'm sorry. Okay, you're putting it on your wrist and licking it off.
We do not want to promote snorting tahini. Do not snort tahini. Only empty it in your palm and lick it.
Okay, yes.
That's what we do.
That's what you do.
We also put it on various fruits and literally everything I eat.
I put in my notes here that we might talk about what not to pack. Is there anything that you guys brought that you're like, I wish I left this at home?
I mean, I wouldn't say my Nintendo Switch, but it was nice being able to check my Animal Crossing early in the morning.
That's a good point, because I brought mine and I didn't touch it at all. I didn't play it.
It just depends on what you game it on.
Yeah. There's things like that you feel that you're going to bring, that you're going to entertain yourself with in the morning.
Professional camera, don't worry about it. In my opinion, don't worry about it. Your iPhone or Android takes well enough photos.
Yeah, she's kind of right. I mean, I guess that's the overall recommendation. Don't bring any unnecessary electronics, because you're probably not going to play your Nintendo Switch. You're probably not going to want to take in your nice camera, because, like you said, your phone does well enough.
Do bring battery-powered fans.
Yes. Oh, and those USB battery banks as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man, bring lots and lots of those.
Yeah, that helps tremendously. There will be a lot of charging stations, not only in Centeroo, but throughout the campground as well. But it does help to have those little battery-powered things, just as an emergency. And a backup if your phone does go dead. While we're talking about phones, do not count on getting reception at Bonnaroo. You might, but odds are that you won't.
I was like the only one in the campground that had service.
Yeah.
It was nice being able to help people out, getting in touch with their people that they needed to.
Like at Okeechobee, like the AT&T gang was going strong, but nobody else got service.
Well, I had straight talk, so...
Yeah, well, you were going fine. But yeah, don't count on that. There will be places where you can catch a Wi-Fi if you need to touch base with the outside world, which I don't recommend. But if you absolutely have to, you can do it that way.
Right.
You might be able to call your friends. You won't get data, probably. You won't really know until you get there, but I can just tell you probably shouldn't count on it. Any tips there, Charlotte?
I mean, I've had very, very, very little service, but it really depends on... It's going to depend on how many people are there.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So I would not count on working there.
Yeah. You can, like I said, you can get Wi-Fi if you absolutely need it, but don't count on it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next thing. We will probably do a whole episode on this later, but I just want to get some quick tips from the ladies of the household. What to wear, what not to wear, stuff like that. Let's work backwards. Is there anything you would recommend not to wear at Bonnaroo?
Open-toed shoes. Unless you're around camp, just chilling. Do not wear open-toed shoes to a show. You will get your feet stomped on, and you will have fat, black, and bruised feet.
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree with Brooklyn 100% on that. I've read horror stories online about people getting their feet stomped on. So I would recommend some like Converse, Vans, something along those lines is what I typically wear. But wear what's most comfortable for you. Whatever you do, break your shoes in before you go.
Oh, yeah.
Don't pull out a brand new pair of shoes that you've never worn before. Break them in. Make sure it's the most comfortable shoe for you. And make sure that you're ready to go long hours. I'm talking 10, 12 hour.
Basically all day.
18-hour days in these shoes. So make sure it's, going to be the most comfortable shoe for you.
You're making me think of Forrest Gump where, Lieutenant Dan was telling him, the most important things are socks. Keep them clean.
Well, along those lines, if you're wearing Doc Martens, this one's obvious. Mm-hmm. Do not wear ankle socks with your Doc Martens.
Right.
Now, why is that?
Blisters.
Oh,
you will get blisters.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, I was going to talk about what to wear and what not to wear, but it sounds like the most important things are your footwear.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Now, I would wear, I'd bring flip-flops and stuff for the showers, obviously. Mm-hmm. And, some people love open-toed shoes, what's that brand?
Crocs?
No.
Chacos,
thank you. Some people love wearing those and swear by those. If that's the most comfortable thing for you, but I've just read so many horror stories. Yeah. I just can't see myself wearing those.
Now, and I get it, if you plan on running through the fountain and everything, but
it's tough.
If you're planning on getting up front for a show where there's going to be a mass amount of people, do not wear those open-toed shoes. Mm-hmm. I don't care how much you love those Chacos, how much you love those Filas, how much you love those Birkenstocks. Do not wear them. Mm-hmm. Wear closed-toed shoes. It is safer, and I promise you, it sounds crazy because I know it's hot. Right. It will be more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've done it once or twice, on a few different days in my very long Bonnaroo career. It wasn't easy, but since I've done it, I wouldn't recommend it.
No. I know some people that will straight up go up in there barefoot. Mm-hmm. I'm like, y'all are brave walking on this gravel, getting Walmart feet.
Wook's doing things.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. All right. We will do much more on this in a future episode because we'll have a lot to talk about when it comes to fashion as well. Real quick, I will say, from a guy perspective, I prefer doing light athletic wear, those lightweight Adidas shorts. They soak up sweat really easily, and I'll do a sleeveless shirt, and I'll put on a button-up tee over that. We'll talk about this at another time, but it kind of comes down to everybody's preferences. But whatever is easiest and most comfortable.
Exactly. And that's from a girl's perspective, too. Wear what you're most comfortable in.
100%.
Absolutely. The only thing I really wouldn't recommend, and that's just from a comfort perspective, I would not recommend jeans.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
What about jorts? That's another story altogether. Yeah, I know. Friday, Jorts Friday.
About jorts.
Jorts Friday. Just putting it out there. That's still going to be a thing.
Good
my
Lord.
goodness.
I've got support in this.
But that would
support you.
Just wear what you're most comfortable in.
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing that you can really wear at Bonnaroo that's going to be out of place.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's talk about the different camping options. Charlie, you mentioned that we should probably talk about this.
Right, and I bring this up because I see so many questions about this online. What camping option do I choose? Because there's so many available. Do I choose GA camping? Do I choose group camping? How do I camp without a car, etc.?
All right, so let's talk about the different areas that you can camp. So we'll start from where we are. We're in the general admission RV section. I would say, how many RVs would you say are in the general admission section? I would say maybe like 500.
That's what I was going to guess, but that's just a guess.
We don't know for sure. And then behind us will be group camping, where you can camp with a large group. They get a little extra space, and they do some different things that you wouldn't see in the general admission camping, which is probably like 80% of Bonnaroo out in the campgrounds, right?
Yes.
When you camp just in regular general admission space, you're going to have your car parked in a line with all the other cars, and you will have probably about like 20 to 25 square feet. So it's like to the side of your car in a good space. So you have space for that canopy that I was telling you about, and a couple of tents, and kind of like a little common area. It's more space than you would think. Just look up some of the pictures that you can find of the general admission camping area, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. Now, if you're a high roller, there's the VIP area where you do get a lot more space as well. Brooklyn's giving it the thumbs down. I mean, look, listen, we're not going to throw shade if you're doing that. We just prefer to be down in the trenches with everybody else.
I'll throw shade.
You will?
I don't care.
You don't care?
If you do VIP, you ain't no real groupie.
Oh!
No, I know a lot of people that do VIP.
I do too.
I will keep my opinions to myself. I would just say I enjoy being down in the trenches with everybody else, and not within Valhalla.
Okay, I'll rephrase that.
Yeah.
If you come to campground activities, yet you're still in VIP, you a real one.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's
if you're
very
in
true.
VIP and you don't do any campground activities, why are you even here?
Yeah, they do have some in VIP for VIP that we can't go to as our regular peasants, But listen, hey, I'm not going to get into that today. That's a whole other subject. There is another thing that's like GA Plus, which I think is just kind of silly. It's just a way for them to charge more just to put you in an air-conditioned room every once in a while. Like, I think you get like some priority to the lines. Yeah, it's not a big deal. If anybody were to ask me personally, is GA Plus worth it? I would be like, nah, save that money for something else.
Well, unless you come from up north and really need the air conditioning.
Yeah, well, I was born in the humidity. I was melded by it. I'm fine with it.
You're not like us.
Yeah. Now, something else we should talk about when it comes to camping. They are going to do this thing this year that they meant to do last year. The earlier you come in, the closer to Cinru you will be parked, closer to the arch, I believe. And they will be opening on Tuesdays. So, if you want that prime real estate, you're going to need to plan on getting there early. What?
Prime real estate. I like
Well,
that.
it is.
I like that.
Well, I mean, think about it. Because if you get there Tuesday, you're going to be right there. You're going to have like a short-ass walk. You can go right back to your campground
Right, and
from
they were going to do this last year, and it was going to be the first year for doing this. And in previous years, it's just always kind of been a crapshoot as to where you get parked. But this year, supposedly, the earlier you come in, the closer you'll be.
Yeah. Now,
it should have worked that way in the first place.
I don't know why they didn't do that. Now, let's talk about this. There is a couple of ways to game that system somewhat. We are able to do it because we park in GA RV. So we know exactly where we're going to be camped. If you're parking in that RV section, it's not that far a walk. You're going to walk 20 minutes to the entrance at most. And the group area is going to be guaranteed to have kind of that same distance, 15 to 20 minutes. Not right next to the arch or anything, but it's relatively close. If you come in late Thursday, you're going to have a hard time. It's going to be a long way. Like, campgrounds go really far out there. You could be walking up to like an hour almost if you're unlucky.
Right.
Yeah, but now it's not unlucky. If you get there early, you guarantee you're a good spot.
You think Okeechobee's bad?
Oh, man, yeah. It could, listen, this is serious. It could really hamper your weekend if you have that long of a walk. You're not going to be able to go back to your campsite to get a thing or two or rest up. You're going to have to factor in how long it takes walking in that heat going to or from Cinru and like what you can do for the rest of the day. So it is something serious to think about. The earlier you come this year, the better the spot you get. If you can't come till Thursday or Friday, you're not going to be screwed, but you're not going to have a great time with that walk. Just going to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still going to have a good time overall.
Oh, yeah. You're just
that
not going to have
walk
a good
is going to be like... I mean, you will meet a lot of friends on the walk, so...
Hey! Yeah.
You're going to need,
I love
for
how
the
you're saying the
walk.
positivity.
Yeah.
Here's what you're going to need for the walk. You're going to need...
An umbrella?
What? Maybe.
Well, they might. They took my umbrella one year.
Yeah, they don't let that through security for some reason.
That's so stupid.
But what do they need, Charlie?
You're going to need a Camelback,
Yeah.
2 beers, 1 for each hand,
Yeah.
and then that'll be your good walk.
And you're set?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good tip from Charlie.
a nice little sunshade hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of those little hats. That hat that is an umbrella.
And then a portable fan that is also a necklace.
Yes.
It's that far a walk, y'all. We're serious. Hey,
And then like a spray bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Mr.
Mister.
Yeah, Mr.
Mr. Misters. All right, real quick, let's talk about the geography of things for people that are totally new to Bonnaroo. We're talking about the campgrounds and everything in Cinderoo. They may not even know what that means. So remember this, first of all, Bonnaroo is huge. There can be up to 100,000 people on really big years. Most of that is going to be the campground. But in kind of like the nucleus of everything is Cinderoo. Joseph has asked about this before.
Yes.
So you've got all these activities and all the camps, all the plazas that are out in the campground. But the big stages where you're going to be seeing most of the acts is inside Cinderoo. It's walled off from the rest of the campground. There's 2 main entrances, one at the arch, one next to the Ferris wheel. You go in that way. If you go in at like a high traffic time, it could take a while to go through the line, like a half hour or so if it gets bad. Once you get in there, there are the main stages. There's the what stage, the which stage. Those are the main 2. The what stage is the big one that you're going to see the headliners on, which is fun as well. It's the second biggest one where a lot of the fun late night stuff is going to be happening. Then there's 2 tents. There's this tent and that tent. There's a lot of shows there, a lot of different things. And then there's the other, which is mostly an EDM stage nowadays. There's a couple of other things as well, but those are the main ones. Is there anything I'm missing that's inside Cinderoo?
The big ass water slide.
Big ass water slide. Planet Roo, where a lot of the nonprofits are,
Yes.
and like some of the different little shops and things. A lot of vendors, but those are the main things. We'll talk about that another time. I just want to give you a sense of what is where. Is there anything I'm missing, Charlie?
That's it.
That's about it. Yeah, we'll talk about some of that stuff another day. Something else I want to talk about briefly. If you are a person that doesn't do well in crowds, just be prepared. There will be crowds.
Right.
One of the first things I will tell people that are new to not just Bonnaroo but a festival, be prepared to walk over and around people. There will be a lot of people that will be laying down on like blankets and stuff. You will have to step over them. You're not offending them if you do have to do that.
Just keep swimming.
You want to tell them about that? We've told the story before, but sometimes that will happen. Do you want to tell them?
My first room, I don't do. I mean, I do okay with crowds, but like if it's like where people are starting to shove and push, I kind of get a little anxious for obvious reasons. I mean, I feel like anyone would. The pathway between the rest of Cinderoo and the main stage area is quite slender.
It can get very congested.
And going from the lead act on the main stage at night to the next act that is going to happen at the witch stage, there's a lot of people trying to squeeze through that slender. And on my first day, my first Bonnaroo, it was like that, and people were pushing and shoving, and I was not in a good state of mind for that. And someone in the back behind us started screaming, "Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming." And that lifted my spirits. And everybody started walking forward. And it was great.
Everybody was chanting it,
We
just
got
like in
out
Finding
of
Nemo.
it, and it was great. And it was wonderful. Mine just comes from claustrophobia. I love crowds of people. Like, I love people. It's just the claustrophobia, like, gets me.
Now, didn't they put in an extra crosswalk?
Yeah, there are, and that's one tip I'll give everyone. There are 2 lanes. So again, let's talk about the geography. There is a giant field for the what stage, and it's kind of separate from the rest of Cinderoo. There's 2 kind of lanes or hallways that connect the what field to the rest of Cinderoo, where the other tents. Kind of, yeah. Here's my tip. If you go to the first one, it's going to be congested like Brooklyn was just talking about. If you keep going back towards the arch and use the second one, it won't be as bad. I've done that a few times and had a little bit better luck. You'll just have to make a big loop if you're coming back around to something at the witch stage.
Right.
Just
so
take
you'll actually go out of Cinnaru and then go in the other way?
No, you stay in Cinnaru. There's 2 lanes. There's the first one that comes right out at the witch stage. And then there's another one that comes kind of next to that tent.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Take a look at the map. Take a look at the Cinnaru map, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll show you later. But yeah, that's one of my tips. You've been coming how many years with me, and I haven't shown you that?
This would be my 6th year.
Yeah,
but I've only been 3.
Yeah, I know. When we come back, I'll show you. That's one of my picks. One of my tips. Use that second little lane to get back to the other side of Cinnaru when it's really congested. Okay, so yes, just be ready for big crowds and big lines. Should we talk about getting in the pit, or should we save that for another day?
Oh, you can go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, so that is one thing that's different at Bonnaroo than many other big festivals. They have a pit, which a lot of people think mosh pit. You're going in there and pushing and shoving. That isn't really what it is. They just call it that because it's kind of what else do you call it?
Limited access to the front.
So they will have a line for each show, and they will fill in that pit for just that show. You can line up to get into it, and then it will empty out for the next show.
And now the pit is just for the what stage and the which stage?
Yeah, that's right. Just those 2. So if there's somebody you're dying to see up close, you can make it happen if you don't mind skipping a couple other shows and waiting for a while.
And the pit is open to everybody. You don't have to be a VIP to go in there.
Yeah. Right. Well, they do have a VIP section that's just for them, but it's not much.
But the main pit is anybody can go in there.
And real quick, usually for like shows that are earlier in the day, you may not even have to line up for, but the headliner you will definitely need to line up for. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you want to get in the pit for like Stevie Nicks, for example, plan on being there for a good couple of solid hours at least.
Yeah, plan on missing basically every show that day.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, you'll get to see the things that are also on that same stage, kind of from the side. But yeah, you will be kind of forfeiting the rest of your day to get in the pit for the headliner, which I will say is worth it for somebody that you really want to see.
If it's somebody you're like hardcore, like I've been dying to see this person for years, it's definitely worth it.
You definitely have to weigh your options.
Yeah.
Right.
We waited a couple hours to get in the pit for like Childish Gambino, for example. And man, that was a fun experience. Mm-hmm. It kind of was worth it. Especially when he came up on that big riser and everything.
Now, Daniel, you waited for several hours for U2.
I waited at least 6 hours to get in the pit for U2. Worth it. One of my favorite bands ever. Still worth it.
it's Glass Animals for that one.
I've seen Glass Animals a number of times, yeah. It's okay. We saw them in Birmingham just a few months ago.
Yeah.
This is true.
And it was amazing.
It was amazing. We'll see him again at some point, I'm sure. Anything else on that point, Charlotte?
No, it's one of the biggest asked questions. And I still see people every year at Bonnaroo. Oh, I thought the pit was just for VIP. So, I mean, it's open to everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last thing that I wanted to talk about is kind of like what happens on each day. This was another question that Joseph had a couple of months ago, and I'm sure it's a question a lot of people have. So, let's start from Wednesday, because things kind of unofficially start at that point. Go look at that campground schedule that we were talking about at the beginning of the episode. It's still going to be kind of a load-in day for a lot of people. We don't start our like Wednesday night party until kind of later. We'll probably start about 6, 7 o'clock or something like that. What I do recommend is, before you come to party with us, take a walk around and just see where everything is in the campground. Go get your first look at the arch, kind of get a look at where all the plazas are at.
If you see something interesting at Shakedown Street, which is where all the fun arts and crafts and handmade products are presented, buy them the first day, because most likely they will be sold out
good stuff
by Friday.
Yeah. And Shakedown Street is on Bushy Branch Road. So if you're coming in that way, you just keep going down, take a walk down that way. There's a lot of cool stuff out there too. There's the Jesus Tent. They give away a lot of nice food and drinks for free. They're fantastic people. And there's some kind of weird party that happens over there, like on different nights too.
Yes, I've definitely seen like a couple of smaller bands playing over there.
Yeah, it's worth going to check out. But most importantly, from our vantage point, come party with us on Wednesday.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot of things going on. We'll kick off pretty much when the sun starts going down until very, very late. Please come see us. That is the most important thing to us on Wednesday. Thursday is the day that Cinnaru kind of sort of opens. So the half with the tent and the other, that will open up. A lot of those acts will be going on. The party is really going to be at the other this year on Thursday, I think, because of closing and some other things that are happening in there. It'll feel pretty congested on that day because only half of Cinderoo is open and everybody's excited and is bouncing around between like different shows. It won't feel as crowded on future days. So just be aware of that if it's your first time. It'll feel a little different on Thursday than it does the other days. They typically haven't had shows on The Witch on Thursdays, which I kind of wish that they would. It would be fun if they, we don't have the Grand Ole Opry, but I had recommended in the past when they did have it that it would have been great on the Witch stage.
I think so, yeah.
I think there's other acts that they should consider putting on the Witch stage on Thursday. But historically, they haven't done that. I don't know if they're going to be doing it this year or not. Brooklyn, should we go ahead to Friday now when things really start going crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Friday is when the What stage, the big field that is kind of like the Woodstock looking area, that's when that opens up. That's when the headliners are going to start. Friday is going to be the first real late night. They're doing kind of sort of a Thursday night late night. But Friday is when things are going to get real wild because they're going to have things on the Witch stage and all the different places and everything. Friday night is probably my favorite night of Bonnaroo, no matter like who is playing, because everybody's so happy that we're like going till the sun comes up.
High Five Friday.
High Five Friday. There's so much energy. Nobody's gotten that tired yet, Friday's just so damn fun.
Tell the rookies about High Five Friday.
Yeah, that's something you should know about. There's a lot of different Bonnaroo traditions, and that's one of them. So on Friday, you need to make a point to go in through the arch entrance. There's kind of like a snaky line before you go under the arch, and as everybody goes back and forth, you'll high five everybody on the other side of the fence for High Five Friday.
Have your hand out, and you'll have a lot of high fives.
There's always somebody.
Sanitizer, yeah,
this year, yeah. There's always somebody that's like, good game, good game, good game.
Good game.
Yeah, I always start that if nobody else does. It's so fun. The energy on Friday when you come in on High Five Friday,
so
when you come through the arch,
it is contagious.
It's indescribable. Like, you can look at YouTube videos of people doing this, but once you actually do it and you're hyped to go in for your first big day of Bonnaroo, ooh, there's just some adrenaline that just hits different. It's a fun time.
Out of this world.
Yeah.
You feel like, yes, I'm here.
You're doing it.
I've waited this long. Let's do this. Let's have a great time.
Yeah. You will not feel that kind of hype or energy at any other festival,
and I
swear.
It has to do with, like, everybody else around you has the exact same energy. Mm-hmm. Like, the energy is matched.
Absolutely.
I think that's what gives a little bit of that natural euphoria.
Mm-hmm. The other tradition that you will likely run into is everybody singing the Bismarcky song all together.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You got what I need.
I'll let you go with it this time. But yeah, we use it as the intro song of this podcast sometimes, like on special occasions, because that is one of the biggest, traditions at Bonnaroo. Yes. Whenever you have a lot of people waiting in a line or filing out, filing in, somebody will inevitably start it, and you'll get a couple of choruses of everybody doing it. Yes.
Fun fact, I learned that on the ukulele.
You did? Can you lead everybody on it?
Sure.
Not right now, but like at Bonnaroo when we're going in and stuff like that.
Not when we're going in, but like if we're just chilling at camp, I'll sing it. There's
a lot of other traditions that we'll talk about in the podcast leading up to it. There's a lot of little things, like people writing Kanye sucks on the porta potties, or like butt scratching and different things like that,
the fuck base nectar sticker on the porta potties at Okie.
I'm sure that'll be a thing at Bonnaroo too, probably.
Those are funny.
But yeah, the biggest two that come to mind for me are High Five Friday and the Bismarcky song, but you will learn a lot of other traditions. There's smaller traditions like come sign the bus, come do that for us. You should also do the Roo Shoot. Like, that will be out and about. You've got to do that at some point. Yeah.
That is a Bonnaroo must experience.
Yes. Another tradition that I would push is the beer exchange at Camp Red Root. You should definitely go to that and trade a beer.
Go to, what are they called?
The what?
The other group.
The other group.
No.
Here it comes. It's at the tip of her tongue.
Oh.
Yeah. Think about it. We'll come back.
Okay.
We were talking about Friday. I'm just going to let everybody know that Saturday is pretty much kind of the same. There'll be another fun late night. And then Sunday, things start to wind down a little bit. The lineup is a little bit more chill. There's not a late night. Things wind down at 10. But there's a lot of after parties in the campgrounds. She remembers now.
I've noticed that, like, every time I'm walking through group camping, I notice that Wu-Tang Clan are always fucking throwing down. They're always having a party.
Oh, they wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
They some good people to go party with, yeah. There's lots of groups like that you should get to know. So, like, the Roo Shoot people are with the Parachute people, and I think their camp is Camp Trying to Go to Bed.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. They're easy to find because they'll have one of those big dome things that they'll put one of the chutes over, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ones. We'll have to do a whole different episode on all the groups.
Just
because
do a tour.
Yeah. Just go through the group area and meet everyone, which will be easy to do this year because they will be a group plaza. We'll be parked next to there. A lot of the other groups will have different activities. I can't talk too much about it because there's going to be a whole separate announcement about it later. But stay tuned for that. You will learn more about that before too long. But come visit. I would go as far to say that the group area really is the heartbeat of Bonnaroo. Those are the people that are coming every year, that are in it, that are invested.
I've never seen much dedication as I have within the groups.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that we have an audience that filters in and out of Bonnaroo. You have people that come for a few years and then they move on in their lives. But the people that stay in group, those are the veterans. Those are the people that really make Bonnaroo Bonnaroo. Come visit them. Come to some of their parties. Come to the plaza because those are the people that you're going to make lifelong friends with. We are so lucky that we have friends in so many different cities, so many different states that we can hit up if we're in town. They can hit us up and stay over the night in the bus if they're in town. That is something that you will gain from Bonnaroo that you just can't really get from any other festival aside from like maybe Burning Man or something like that, you know. So really, please, if you really want to be in deep, come get invested and meet everybody in the group area.
I completely agree 100%. I mean, you'll find people in there that's been going since Itchy-Coo.
Itchy-Coo, yeah.
I mean, truthfully.
Yeah. Ooh, man. Yeah, that's a whole other story, too. I may replay this old episode before too long if we get really busy, but last year we did a 2-part series on the history of Bonnaroo that I would point our rookies to as well. And when I'm talking history, I'm talking history. We traced it all the way back to Woodstock, like in the late 60s. So the first half, we talked about Woodstock up until 99. So we went from Woodstock 69 to Woodstock 99. And then after that, we picked up in the second part, we went from Itchy-Coo to like the recent Bonnaroos and everything. Mm-hmm. We may edit and whittle down that episode and kind of rerun it before too long. But if you want to hear the whole thing, we did it, around April or May last year. Dig in our Spotify history and find that. If you're a rookie, I highly encourage you to chase that down and listen to that where we teach you a little bit more. Berlin, anything else before we start to wrap this up and sign off?
If you're a rookie, or honestly, if you're a Bonnaroo vet and you haven't met us yet, please come find us. You know, you can find us. If we're not at the bus, you can always find us in Centeroo with a Ricky the Cat Totem. Mm-hmm. Just come find us because I'd love to give you a hug. I love meeting new people, and I love all of you. You are what make Bonnaroo Bonnaroo.
Yes.
And I absolutely cannot wait to Bonnaroo with you guys.
Those of you that are new, if you're listening to this, if you found our podcast and found us with all of our different Rubus projects, you really are getting into not just a festival, but a community. Like, if you really are on this, you're going to make friends that you're going to have for life. You're going to be like us and have like all these different connections in different cities.
Be careful, it's a cult.
It kind of is. You're going to like meet up with these people for like camping trips and different concerts and ball games and all kind of things all the time. And it's wonderful. It changed mine and Charlotte's lives for the better in so many ways. And I'm so thankful that we have friends in like Birmingham, Atlanta, Chicago, all over the place, you know?
Yeah, it's really wonderful.
Yeah.
I know that there's some of you that I've already met that have been trying to go for 3 years now. So hopefully the third time will be the charm.
Yes.
It will be.
All credit to Kyle the Bonnaroovian. I think he coined that originally. Like, third time is a charm for Bonnaroo, you know? And it is. It is going to be. As Brooklyn mentioned, those of you that are new, check out our last couple of episodes, especially the one where we talked about the lineup. We introduced you to a lot of new people and everything. People and things that you should know about the Bonnaroo community. And again, I will say that. Think of it as a community, not a festival. Exactly. The festival happens once a year, but Bonnaroo goes all damn year. We're always hanging out and making different things happen.
We've been sitting here for 3 years and we're still all about it. So obviously it means a lot. Well,
I mean, it's kind of funny because we haven't been in almost 3 years, but everything has kept going. We've had our mini-roos. We've met up with our friends at different things.
I will say we have been pretty privileged.
We have. You're right. It's important to point that out. Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like us and all the groups and everything want to share that privilege. Like Brooklyn mentioned, if you want to hang out, like, hit us up. We're in Huntsville, Alabama, just outside of town. We'd love to see you. We'll come hang out. I mean, send us a thing, and you're welcome to come stop by and sign the bus before Bonnaroo. We don't care. We're happy to
We
have you
always
over.
love meeting new friends.
Yes. And I'm just saying, the offer is out there. Shoot us a DM. You're welcome to come stop by if you're in the area or you're passing through. And then if you want to see us at Rue, of course, the time and the place to hit us up is at the Wednesday night party. We will have more information on that very, very, very soon. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, finally. But as Brooklyn mentioned, hey, I got a big totem that I carry around everywhere. Hit us up. I'll probably have a little gift for you. I would love to see you. I am tired of talking to so many people only over the internet.
Yes.
I need to hug them and talk to them in person. I don't want to say I'm sick of it, but I need my people time.
Yes.
I need to get in front of everyone.
We need to be back in our natural habitat.
Yes. Any last thoughts from you, Charlotte?
Just what you guys said.
Yeah.
And I just think that I'm so ready to meet people again and just to be out there again.
Please. Well, I think that wraps it up for our sequel to our rookie episode. We may do some stuff like this again. Something that I had done in the past is we had a rookie roundtable where I had a lot of rookies call in and they asked their questions.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
It's stuff that we can't think about when we're putting all this together. But we want to help you with. So I think we'll do that before too long. Some other things like that just for rookies because we want to help you out. We want you to have a great time. It can seem intimidating, but we're here to help. A lot of other people are here to help. People like Camp Red Roo are there, Parachute People, so many others that I'm not even thinking about right now. Wu-Tang Clan's another that you mentioned. We've been doing this because we love it. And we love meeting new people. And we love seeing Bonnaroo through the eyes of somebody coming for their first time. Every year since you have been coming to Brooklyn, even before that, really, we have brought somebody new in the bus that hasn't been to Bonnaroo before. This year it's Joseph, and I can't wait for him to freak out about stuff. He's just going to be like, oh my gosh.
Wait, isn't it Joe's first year, too, because she was wanting to go?
Her second.
Oh, it's her second. Okay.
She went in 2019. Yeah.
I
she told you. Yeah. But I can't wait to have her aboard the bus. Yeah. So usually, last thing I'll say before we sign off. Usually on these episodes, it's me, Charlotte, and Brooklyn. Sometimes it's me and Charlotte if Brooklyn's busy. But there's going to be a big crew of us on the bus. So it's us three, our buddy Joseph, and the other Joe. So Joe and JoJo will be there as well. They would love to see you as well. And there's a lot of other people that will be hanging out with us all the time. We're BFFs with just about everybody in Camp Red Roo because we're always next door to them. But we hang out with like the Parachute People as well. There's a lot of others. We would love to introduce you to other people in the community because we're going to be like doing crazy stuff with them all weekend as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that covers it. There's much more to talk about soon, but that was an hour's worth of fun stuff for rookies for now, right?
Yes.
Yes. So guys, something else that we'll talk about in the future is the code. And a piece of that code that we use every episode when we sign off is get out there and radiate positivity. And I'm saying that because that's not just something that you do at Bonnaroo. That's something you need to be doing every damn day. So, lastly, get out there and radiate positivity.
Woo-woo!
We'll see you real soon.
Bye.